At first, Arjun sees only Krishna, the same charioteer, the same familiar presence beside him. Then something begins to press against the limits of sight, as though the world itself were tightening around what stands before him. Krishna's form does not suddenly change, it overflows. Its edges blur, multiply, then dissolve. Space seems to bend, hesitate, then give way. Arjun's vision deepens beyond endurance, and he understands. Krishna is no longer within the world is within Krishna. He sees faces without number, serene and wrathful, luminous and terrible, layered one within another. He sees eyes blazing like suns at the moment of creation, multiplying until shadow itself is undone. He sees mouths opening vast as horizons, swallowing time, releasing it again. He sees arms, countless arms, bearing weapons, garlands, lifting worlds, granting boons, withdrawing them, shaping destinies, dissolving them, all without pause. He sees crowns and jewels, fire and ash, beauty and terror braided together. The sky folds inward, and Arjun beholds the glory of 1,000 suns rising simultaneously, their brilliance converging into a single, unbearable radiance, as though creation itself has caught fire. Within that light, he sees everything, worlds forming and fracturing, ages beginning and ending, gods appearing, dissolving, reappearing, past, present and future, collapsing into a single, relentless form. The present gave way to the future rose to swallow the past. Time bent with such ease that before and after lost all meaning. And then the battlefield, not as possibility, not as threat, as reality already unfolding. Warriors surge forward into vast flaming mouths, kings and elders, heroes and hosts unnamed, Bhishma, Drona, princes bound by fate. The future pours into the present consumes the future. Krishna was time manifest, the destroyer of worlds. Destruction without anger, only motion. Arjun's strength leaves him. His limbs tremble. He was not witnessing the universe, he was being witnessed by it. His breath fractures, Gandiv slips from his grasp, his hands fold, shaking, not in ritual, but in instinct. Enough, he pleads, enough. He begs Krishna to stop, to withdraw his vision, to return to the form he knows, to the friend beside him. Slowly, the fire recedes, the faces withdraw, the blinding light softens. The universe contracts. Krishna stands once more as charioteer, calm, composed. And the radiance of 1,000 suns still burned in Arjun's eyes. What he had seen could not be unseen. The vastness has already answered every argument he might raise. And yet, Krishna still asks him to choose. Not because there is uncertainty, but because action must be owned, even when its necessity is clear. Choice remains, but stripped of illusion. Arjun understands now that freedom does not lie in escape, only in alignment. He lifts Gandiv. The war unfolds, and the Pandavas prevail. Not because righteousness is gentle, but because it is uncompromising. Krishna guides them without sentimentality. He bends codes when codes protect injustice. He breaks conventions when convention shields cruelty. He understands that moral order, when threatened, cannot afford purity that refuses to act. This is not deceit, it is clarity without indulgence. Krishna never promised goodness without cost, only that action, rightly understood, need not bind the soul. And so the charioteer remains, friend, guide, strategist, one who knows when rules must be honored and when they must be transcended so that order itself may survive. Krishna endures not because he offers a single answer, but because he refuses to live a divided life. He is remembered differently because he allows himself to be approached differently. To Mirabai, he is erotic longing, love so total it burns through social order. In Savaryo Parne, she rejects earthly princely suitors for divine union. I plead with you, my mother, wed me to my beloved, to the one who holds the mountain. Why be married to Rana? who is born and dies, suffers in the cycle of rebirth. Make Savarya my husband. Our bond will become eternal. Wed me to my beloved. Make my bridal bangles timeless. In Manipuri dance, Krishna appears as grace incarnate, his form carrying a quiet, eastward aesthetic, movement disciplined into devotion. In Gujarati folk song, he is a maniyado, a folk dancer with dandias in hand, manifesting rhythm, laughter, and nearness through dance. Radha asks him for her lost nose ring, lost in the dance itself. Desire spoken without shame, play carried on as conversation. In Qawwali, a Sufi devotional form, he is yearning in Kanhaiya Yaad Hai Tumhari, the ache of absence made sacred. In Braj, he is leela itself, mischief, love and divinity inseparable. In the southern tradition, especially Tamil Bhakti and Carnatic song, he is intimate and interior, child, beloved and absolute at once. In Guruvayur he stands as the child god, dense with ritual presence. In Maharashtra he is Vitthal, boyish, hands on hips, waiting, sung into nearness by wandering saints. As Venkateshwara in the south, abundance and promise are made visible. In Odisha he is Jagannath. He becomes form pared down to symbol, devotion widened to the cosmic. In Gurbani, Krishna is named and evoked among the many resonant names of the divine, folded into a vision of the one beyond form, and the coins minted under Maharaja Ranjit Singh describe him as Akal Devki Nandanji, the timeless son of Devki. Krishna moves seamlessly, from coast to court, from folk song to philosophy, belonging to everyone and to no one at the same time. From the Patiala rulers of Punjab to the Jadejas of Kathiawar and the Vodayars of Mysore, Krishna is claimed as lineage, legitimacy and ideal, kingship itself, sovereignty tempered by restraint. King Pamheba in the early 18th century adopted Gaudiya Vaishnavism as the state religion. Under him and his successors, Krishna became central to court, ritual and kingship. Leela was institutionalized as royal ritual, not just art. To the longing mother, he is Kanha the child, mischievous and loving. To the anxious student about to face an exam, he stands as a friend. To the studious Brahmin, a source of philosophical inquiry. To the farmer, a fellow cowherd. To the musician, a flute player. To the dancer, he is Natwar, the supreme dancer, the Krishna of the Tribhanga posture, hips curved, torso tilted, head inclined, sensuous yet dignified, playful yet kingly. To the talker, Krishna is also a listener, the child who receives Yashoda's scolding, the beloved one who hears the gopis' complaints, and the sovereign who endures Shishupal's insults, accused of being a cowherd in prince's clothes, a womanizer and illusionist, absorbing affection and abuse alike without ever losing his center. Krishna values dharma over reputation. To the warrior he appears as Thakurji of Nathdwara, the feudal lord and sovereign residing in a temple fortress. He holds the powerful Sudarshan Chakra, before whom loyalty is offered not in fear but in disciplined devotion. To the fighter jet pilot, whether Rafale, Sukhoi, Jaguar, Mirage, Tejas or MiG, he is the glory that touches the sky, the Vishwarup Krishna in his universal form. Just as our jets are meant to cut through the heavens in his glory, in the spirit of Nabhasparsham Deeptam, protecting without arrogance, acting without cruelty. This diversity is not confusion. It is coherence at a higher level. Krishna matters because his advice is profoundly practical. He does not offer escape from the world, but instruction for living within it. He understands that the human mind is restless, a labyrinth, contradictory, and neither cold rationality nor sterile transcendence is enough to steady it. Modern psychology can analyze the mind, but it rarely gives it beauty. Krishna gives both. He marries philosophy with music, ethics with desire, discipline with play, He understands that multiplicity unsettles morality, and that morality irritates those intoxicated by multiplicity, and yet he insists that both must be held together. Leela and dharma go hand in hand. Nihilism without despair, hedonism without excess. This is his genius. Nietzsche asks us to channel the will. Schopenhauer urges us to silence it. The Stoics would seal it in a jar. Hedonists let it run wild. Krishna says, offer it. Desire is not crushed, nor indulged, nor merely restrained. It is consecrated. When the will is given to duty, it loses its tyranny and gains meaning. Action remains, passion remains, but the ego is no longer the master. Plato sought the good beyond the world. Krishna places it in the midst of action. Kant binds us to duty without desire. Krishna teaches desire purified by duty. The ascetic walks away from the fire. Krishna steps in it, unburned. He teaches us not to amputate parts of ourselves in the name of virtue, but to orchestrate them, to act without being owned by action, to love without possession, to fight without hatred, to dance without forgetting consequence. Krishna shows us how to make a leela of our own lives, a play that is neither frivolous nor grim, but alive, intelligent, and inwardly free. And so even now we remember him in motion, as the cowherd with the flute, the strategist with the chariot, the philosopher amid war, the friend who refuses to abandon us. And may we, in our own small ways, learn to live undivided lives, stung by his holy hues, steady in action, and unafraid of complexity. For Krishna does not ask us to become pure by leaving the world. He asks us to become whole within it. And perhaps that is the most complete spirituality of all. Jai Shri Krishna.